Hey, Jack Squad, how's everybody doing this early Monday morning? Hope everybody's well, and I hope you're making it happen for yourself. Gotta make it happen for yourself. Let me tell y'all something. I couldn't even sleep. I could not even sleep because I'm still on the high from the Verzus of Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Isley Brothers. Now, before I get started, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Like, share, comment, and subscribe, right? And let me tell y'all my subscribers of the day. It's Kim Praying, Allie, Gabby, and Capricorn Shannon. Okay? Let me tell y'all something. I got up early this morning before work. Okay? So I could talk about this Verzus. If for anybody that did not know or did not watch, this was epic. This was legendary. Okay? Yeah, this was all things wonderful, right? Especially for the black culture, right? And for these guys, because like Ron Isley is 79. He's 79, right? Let me just say this. I'm so excited. Let me just say this. The Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind, and Fire are my two favorite groups. Now, I have a top three that includes the OJs. But Earth, Wind, and Fire and the Isley Brothers, all-time top two for me. Now, after listening, because this is the soundtrack to my life, to my childhood, right? After listening, me and my son, he kept asking me, he's always asking me which one is one, which one is two. I was like, I can't give you a one or two. I can put OJs as three, but I can't give you a one or two. They're both equally, I like them both equally, right? Well, after last night, I got to say that Ron Isley pulled it out a little bit for me. He's number one, Earth, Wind, and Fire is number two. Not taking nothing away from Earth, Wind, and Fire. Let me tell y'all something. These soundtracks is my life, right? And anybody my age, around my age, older than me, these are the soundtracks of my life. And as I was laying in bed, I woke up early this morning because, again, my tooth is hurting, y'all. That's why I ain't did no videos. I told y'all I was going to do videos all weekend. No, tooth was hurting too bad. But as I was laying in bed this morning and was thinking about it, music, for black folks, music is our everything, right? Our ancestry is music. They beat the drums, and this is how they communicated, and so on and so forth. And we are very rhythmic people. We are very rhythmic people, right? And I was laying in bed thinking, I come from an era where men were gentlemen, right? That's why it's so hard for me to date now, because men my age have reverted to doing things that younger men do, which is not acceptable, right? Because we come from an era where men were gentlemen, right? And it all, I think, leads back to the music. Now, if you listen to the Isleys, you listen to Earth, Wind, and Fire. Earth, Wind, and Fire were like, like Common and them as conscious rappers, they were like conscious R&B, right? If it's such a thing. And Ron and the Isleys was just smooth. They was just smooth. And as you can see, Ron is still smooth. Ron looked so good. He was looking like a zaddy with the beard. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I couldn't get enough. And, I was planning on talking about Real Housewives of Atlanta and Married to Medicine. Child, I couldn't even watch them. And a couple of my cousins called me last night. I was like, look, y'all, I'm doing two things at one time. I'm looking at Versus, and I'm looking at the black folks on TV, because it's black folks night. It's like a black folks overload for me, right? And so I couldn't talk, right? I'm trying to tell you. That took me way back, right? I went to the same high school as Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey's a little older than me, but I went to the same high school. We're from the same neighborhood, right? So a lot of people I was seeing later on Facebook saying Steve did this and Steve. That's probably what they told Steve to do, to talk and do all that and bring back memory, because he's of that age group, right? But also in Cleveland, we did something called hand dancing. Now, I thought initially that it was just Cleveland and Detroit, until one of my subscribers told me DC hand dances as well. So those songs that you were hearing, we hand danced to those songs, right? we hand dance to those songs. Hand dancing is similar to ballroom. It's not really stepping, because stepping is a little faster. Hand dancing is it's a little smooth. It's very smooth, right? But as I was growing up, this is what we did. We hand dance, we slow dance, and we fast dance. And the music that the Isleys played was hand dance and slow dance music, right? Anybody ever went to basement parties or other kind of parties? Like, I'm from Cleveland. We had a spot I was really too young to go to. Initially it used to be called the Red Carpet. Then it was called Vale's Red Carpet, right? That's where it went down. And I think they stayed open at 6 in the morning. I can't remember. They stayed open a long time, right? And then Cleveland took over that little area. But that brought back a lot of memories. And I said that to say this. You know, young men of today, the reason why they don't understand how to be gentlemen, now y'all know I'm a hip-hopper. Love hip-hop. I'm a beginning hip-hopper. When hip-hop started, I was young, very young, right? But music is what leads you and guides you, right? And so hip-hop is a lot of, like, I like to beat a hip-hop for the most part, right? Might not know all the words, especially later on. I might not know all the words, right? But hip-hop has become so disrespectful to women, right? And then the women of hip-hop think that they have to be naked to get paid. Maybe they do, right? But when I was growing up, this is the music we listened to, and this is what taught men how to be men. You know what I'm saying? It's all what you listen to, y'all. I don't care how you cut it, how you slice it, whatever you say. It's the music. Music is an influencer. Music is an influencer, right? And I am happy to have grew up in that era, because this music is timeless. Timeless, right? It's timeless. And yeah, it's timeless. You know, because when some of that music was out, I was in junior high, high school, and you can still play it right now. If you go anywhere and grown folks is there and you play any of that, Isleys, especially the Isleys, Earth, Wind, and Fire, it's going to bring back memories, and it's going to get people up, right? Timeless, classic. That Verzus was epic. Now, I've watched a few, I watched quite a few Verzus now. I used to wouldn't watch them all the way through. I think I watched Monica and Brandy all the way through. I watched Gladys and Patty all the way through. But this right here had me so excited, simply because these are my two favorite groups of all time, right? Of all time. And for Ron to be 79, like, I know Earth, Wind, and Fire, they up there too, but not as old as Ron. Ron the GOAT. Ron is the GOAT. And he looked spectacular, right? And he is the consummate professional. When they went on break, when they came back, Ron and Ernie had changed their outfits, okay? That's what professionals do. They had changed their outfits, all right? Listen, y'all. If you don't know, now's the time to... And let me just say this to you, like I was telling my son. My youngest son is an old head at heart, right? He got an old soul. And so he's been like the Isley Brothers and stuff. But let me tell y'all this. If Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind, and Fire, but especially the Isley Brothers, you could play an Isley Brother album. We had albums back then. Just let it rip all the way through. You ain't got to change nothing. You ain't got to skip nothing. Just let the whole album play. And that's the way it was, for real, for real. And this was during a time when songs were longer than 2 and 3 minutes. And the Isley were known for having part 1 and part 2 of a lot of songs. They had a part 1 and a part 2, right? So the song might be 15 minutes, 12 minutes, you know. Listen, y'all. Ain't nobody like the Isleys, and we can argue about that. Ain't nobody like the Isleys. And then, why I put the Isleys, before I told y'all I couldn't determine who was 1 or 2, I'm going to tell you why Isleys is number 1. Because they stayed relevant. Earth, Wind, and Fire stopped making music at some point. Ron went right on through the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. Mr. Big, you know what I'm saying? The older he got, the better he got. Listen, did y'all see Ernie playing the guitar backwards? I almost lost my mind because I don't have an iPhone. So I'm looking at it on Instagram, and it blacked out. And they came back. I was like, oh, I almost died, right? Ernie always wore that band around his head. He used to talk. This is the most I ever heard him talk, but I guess it's just him and Ron. Because you know, there was two more brothers, and then they had a cousin. They had a cousin, too, that was in the group. They all died. But listen, the Isleys, and I never got to saw the Isley Brothers, and I never got to see Earth, Wind, and Fire in concert. Now, the OJs is my favorite. I've seen them several times, and the OJs is in their late 70s, too. I seen them about 3-4 years ago, y'all. They were still performing. Their voices was magnificent. Like, listen, this should all be a blueprint for how we live our lives, right? You know, as I get older, I'm tripping about my age, right? But I had an epiphany yesterday before I saw that. I'm looking at some actors and stuff, and I researched their age and stuff, and they look good, they act good, they doing well. And so I was like, okay. And Steve said it best last night. He said, getting older is I thought about how he said it. I was going to remember it. But it meant getting older is a blessing. Because what's the alternative to getting old? Right? So I just wanted to get on here, y'all. I was laying in bed just thinking about it. I woke up thinking about it. This is like, yes. We all needed to hear that. Shout out to, who is that? Timberland and what's his name? The other DJ, Alicia Keys' husband. I can't think his name right now. But Swiss Beats. That was a brilliant idea to start the Verzus during a time of a pandemic, right? Brilliant idea, right? This was epic. It was epic. And for anybody that lived through that era knows how epic it was. And for anybody that did not, research the catalog of music and just listen to it. You can play it in any, you can play it, you can play it now and it's still gonna sound good. And a lot of that music is, I want to say 40, 50 years old. You know what I'm saying? Like Sensuality, I forgot about Sensuality. Oh my God, I think they had a part 1 and part 2. Like I said, a lot of the Isley songs had a part 1 and a part 2. You just could not get enough of the Isleys. That's when it was, all 5 of them, however many of them it was. And, Earth, Wind, and Fire, they had a whole big band. Ron Isley was the singer, but his brothers played the guitar. I think the cousin, his name was Chris Jasper, he shouted him out. I think he sang on Harvest for the World, I think, a solo piece, and he played guitar too, if I'm not mistaken, right? He was the big light-skinned guy. That was their cousin. Listen, that gave me life. That gave me everything I needed. Ron, I'm going to say this one more time. Ron is the GOAT. I don't care what nobody say. Ron is the GOAT. 'Cause to be 79, listen, I know some niggas 55 can't do what Ron did. He sang for hours, okay? He sang for hours at night. Listen, that gave me everything I needed, y'all. I just had to get on here. I was laying in bed like, okay, I was going to wait till like my lunchtime or my break. I couldn't. It's weighing too heavy on me. I'm too excited about this. This, for all of y'all that really don't know, this was epic. This was legendary. This was everything that we needed for the culture right now. Everything, y'all. So I just want to get on here and talk about it. Let me just, look, I ain't even put on my glasses the first time, I don't think. So I have, my subs are Kim Prang, Allie Gabby, and Capricorn Shannon. And if I said these names already, my bad. You know what I'm saying? Because I got it on my list to say. So anyway, y'all, like I said, I was supposed to talk about something else today. I had to talk about the Verzus, right? Like I said, shout out to Timberland and Swiss Beats. This was a brilliant idea. Shout out to all of the people that make this happen and the theaters that this is being held in. And to Ciroc for sponsoring, I guess, Diddy or Ciroc, whoever. Shout out to everybody who made this happen, okay? Anyway, y'all, don't forget to make it happen for yourself. Everybody stay blessed. Have a great day. Continue to wear your mask. Everybody, all my friends and everybody talking about they took their shot, they getting their second shot. Wonderful. Beautiful, right? I ain't taking no shot, but that's a good thing for everybody to take it. I'm going to be a part of the herd immunity. My girlfriend called me the other day and said, "You still in the house?" Yes, ma'am. I'm still in the house. Until they say, "Hey, Ain't nobody died. We don't have no more COVID-19 cases. I'm gonna be sitting right here. All right, y'all. Wear your mask. Remember, Black Lives Matter. And if you listen to the verses, you'll understand that Black lives still matter. All right, guys. Everybody be safe and be good.